Well, hello. Thank you for joining us. We are here to study and work the process of the 365 method. This is the 365 consciousness. I am JSW 432. Thank you for joining us. I'm here to help you to understand and work with you through the 365 method system. So before we start, I know some of you may be the first time here. So with that, I'm going to go back and help you with the book. We're going to start with, we're going to go ahead and start with the workbook today, but here's the instruction. And the instruction will show you in the book regards to how this system can work for you. And with page 2, day 2, we're going to move forward with different workbooks and so forth. And you can see with the instructions, let me just give you an idea if you haven't seen this before. Okay, so let's full screen layout. We have the words of affirmation and energy placed. There's many functions on that. So certain words could become a mantra. Certain things on the page may create a certain thought process. Also, it could create a certain imagery or a certain thought that leads to a different path. So just keep those things in mind that everything on the page has a purpose for you. And when you see the parenthesis bracket and is empty, that is designed. I was instructed to allow participants to assess the value themselves. So to obtain the most optimum results or answers for you. Remember, this exercise is for you to develop. And when I say that, these are pages of wisdom, information, maybe certain strategies that comes to you. Everybody's going to receive this a little bit different. So I would say keep that in mind and work with your instinct. This is what we're trying to sharpen as well, is that while we're here, we're sharpening ourselves in 365 method refinement. So the more you do in trusting self, the better it's going to become and the easier it will become. So let's go ahead and remove that. Let's get here the second page. This is still instructions. Instructions for this book varies a bit. So in regards to, there's certain pages that was channeled at the 432 hertz. So there's a frequency infused in this to help you. This was also done in 29 straight days. That was the agenda and the plan that was sent to me for me to convey this into the strategy and the method for you. There are a few shifts in the sessions that was received in the 963 hertz. So these are all energy that is infused into the knowledge of this book that's going to help you in many different dimensions in many different ways. Our goal here is the method of its purpose is to unify the Trinity within each individual and therefore to connect to the source or reconnect to the source and also to each other. This is for evolution of self. So this requires commitment, the discipline. There's no question that doing this system could be very demanding, could be very challenging. But again, to refine and do something incredible, it takes that kind of commitment from you. No different than, let's say, you've always wanted to play piano. However, you took lessons for 3 weeks and you felt that it was too hard. So you leave, you quit. And it could be down the road. I took piano lessons. I tried piano lessons. I wanted to play piano. All these desires and intentions was not fulfilled because your commitment was not there. And you made a definitive decision not to do it anymore. So you got to keep those things in mind, that when you make those kind of decisions, it helps you to kind of make an excuse not to follow through, come up with ways to say, no, it's not for me. And then ultimately, You just kind of put it aside, just like, yeah, I tried it, didn't like it. What we tend to forget is that when we started this idea, let's say wanting to play a piano or instruments or be good at something, that the intention and the passion and the desire was all lined up for you. So once you took action to it, then you realize the challenge was greater than you thought and is more difficult than you thought. And that's okay because good things doesn't come easily. Rarely anything you're going to be great at came out of just sheer talent. A lot of it has to come from dedication, refinement, repetition, and experience. Once you get experience, you will then start to recognize that the experience is bringing you knowledge. It's helping you making better decisions every time you go and approach these tasks or goals. So, with that being said, it's very important for us to understand each other about that because realistically, if you're not going to make a commitment, go do something else that you're rather do. Go do something else that is going to make it easier for you, I guess, is the best way. Okay. Here's the image file. Okay. So here we are for day 2. Let's look at this full page wise. And let's look at what the today's lesson is about. It says day 2. Why do I second guess? What am I afraid of? So just out of these 2 questions, it really opens up the dialogue for you, doesn't it? Just out of these 2 questions, it really makes you ponder and maybe even second guess, right? So the idea behind working in this capacity is that it makes you having to go inward to reflect, to understand what certain things may be bothering you or things that you have always thought about and you're ready for it to happen, but yet it keeps on getting pushed away or set in the back burner. It kept on getting neglected. What are those things? What are things that you need to pay attention to? What are things that you're not doing because you're afraid of them? And what I mean by afraid of them, I mean, it could be something as simple as, yeah, I don't want to go take that trip because I'm not quite sure that it serves my purpose, where I'm afraid that if I took that trip, I may end up having to face the reality of certain things. Something it could be very simple. I don't want to go somewhere because I'm afraid that I'll spend money, right? Something very simple as that could be the reason why you don't take action. Or what are you afraid of? And I'll give you a good example. Once, let's say, you have an opportunity to create a friendship into a relationship, but yet I'm not sure I want to ruin the friendship. So therefore, I will not pursue it for the relationship because I like the friendship. So what are you afraid of? I'm afraid of that if I took something to a new level, that I will lose the old level. And the fact of the matter is, you're supposed to lose the old level. You're supposed to move forward and level up. So you have to think that way. You have to start recognizing your own personal potential in regards to how you want to bring these things to light and how you want to embrace them. It should never be that you don't approach something because I'm afraid to let go of the past. I'm afraid that it may have an outcome that is not desired. Well, anything that's worth in life, it's worth taking a risk and it's worth taking the gamble. You are going to take your personal present moment and you're going to move out of that comfort zone and you're going to go and start going to achieve a next level greatness by emptying, by vacating the past. Just like what they've said before, you can't taste my tea until you empty your cup, which is very true. There is I think, a belief system, a paradigm in regards to I don't want to lose. I don't want to not have. So you're coming from a perspective of lacking or being denied. And for whatever reason, this is part of your compartment in your mind. It happened to create this paradigm for you to basically self sabotage in a way. Because once you got somewhere on a level of comfort, you decided that you did not want to go further because you're okay with that. Even though every day you may be disappointed with what your desired achievement is on this level. So think about that. Really ponder it. Really understand that. Okay, so let's go back and let's look at the full page again. Fear means nothing to me. Love unconditionally always. Now look deep into that picture. It just seems to be surreal with the light. Garden at night. Or is it a fantasy place that you don't know where you're at, you don't know where you're going, but you're glad to see the light? However you see this page, this illustration, these words mean to you, explore that deeper and embrace those instincts. This is how you can get better at developing yourself and your trust to yourself. I can't begin to tell you how much I have done for myself in regards to bringing self into the equation. Now let's go here. Ultimately, we will have to really understand that we are in control of our decisions. We should never be afraid of our decisions. And the reason behind it is without taking that kind of risk, without taking those kind of ownerships, without making those kind of definitive decisions on your own, you will never develop confidence. Confidence is a key component in self growth, self awareness. To be confident, you have to have enough experience. You have to have knowledge that is proven to you on how you operate. So it's very important to understand these goals that you are going for, because without it, it's really hard to understand why do you take time out, take effort out, and do these things. Now, of course, there has been, I would say, incidences that you do things that you come back and says, well, what did I do that for? And I wasted my time on this. Well, if that is to be true, you have to still assess, why did you do these things? Why were you involved in thinking that this would be great, or this could be the thing that I need to do? So you have to challenge yourself on those things. So let's go to let's see here. It's our day 2 workbook. What we want to do now is the supplementary workbook was designed to help take the page further if you're not quite understand the questions or how it's approached to you instinctively. As you get better at this, maybe the workbook doesn't need to serve that need anymore. Maybe you could just read the page and have immediately these instincts and information come download right to you. So we will see if we can refine you to that place. Now, day 2 here, our daily message is what is fear? So that's really what we're looking at. What is fear? What is the inner truth surfacing from you today? That is the reflection. You have to take time out and kind of look at, well, how am I dealing with my fears? One of the things that I've always said that is fear is an illusion, it is not real. Fear is a feeling and an emotion that is pieced together through thoughts and knowledge that steers it into that direction and creates a energy level that brings that emotion out. Is it real? Yeah. If you feel and breathe through it, you let it be, then it's absolutely real. I don't believe you should deny fear if you feel fear, but I do believe this, that if you have a paradigm shift and you recognize that fear is not real, it is something that you manifest through your experience, your instincts, and your knowledge, then therefore you can actually put a stop gate to that thought. So therefore, does fear exist? It does not, because it's not real in your world anymore. Now, how does the message apply to your current experience? This is one of the key points that you always look at when you're doing 365 method is what is going on in my life right now that this plays a huge part to it. Maybe this is something that, again, it's right in front of my face and I keep ignoring it. I keep putting it off. I keep putting it in the back burner. I have to ask that question to myself now. Why have I done those things to avoid? So, one of the key things that we all know in the past is that it's to avoid pain. That is one of the human behaviors. We want to avoid pain. And the other opposite, the polar opposite, is I want to gain pleasure. While that is definitely a motivating factor and it drives both sides, the negative and the positive, I challenge you to go deeper, much deeper than the emotional, much deeper into the consciousness, into the self. Because once you understand that the emotion and the feelings are the components of your instinct, your knowledge, and your experience, then you realize that you are the author of this book. The journey is paved by you. So you have the ultimate control, whether you have fear or not in any situation. Once you recognize that, then you can start to build confidence and build support to the positive side to what situation that may be caused the so-called negative fear factor in the past. So we have a checklist on this worksheet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up a little bit bigger so you can see. The checklist identifies one limiting belief to release today. This is a great exercise. If you can find something that you absolutely says, I am not going to go down this road again. I am not going to allow my belief system controlling me. So what is that one thing? It could be a lot. It could be something as simple as a cigarette. It could be something as right in front of your face as a Big Mac. It could be something as crazy as going to your job that you absolutely despise. So, with those kind of thoughts, what are limiting beliefs that drives you every day that you need to let go? So think about that. Number 2 is create a new empowering affirmation. Okay, so this is the key on regards to repetition of the knowledge and the instinct regards to affirming. Keep telling you, if you keep telling yourself bad, I'm bad at this, I'm bad at that, then of course you're going to be bad at it. But if you're going to say to yourself, today I'm going to give my best effort forward, and whatever results that comes, I will embrace it with all my heart, then you have just empowered greatly in regards to what you do. So think really diligently and clearly about that, because empowerment is extremely addicting and it's extremely beneficial for you. Third checkbox is take one inspired action aligned with your goal. Taking action means do something. Okay. Taking action means get off the couch, right? Not only get off the couch, but maybe sometimes get out of the house, maybe even go somewhere for a road trip. It's different for everyone, but you have to look at is what's inspiring you. The inspiration that drives you, that creates momentum, that creates passion, intentions. These are seeds. They're seeds that needs to be nurtured, that needs to be cared for and watered, needs to be attended to before they fruit and grow and present and produce. So don't think that, hey, I did this and I made this decision and well, nothing came of it. So therefore it's not for me because there's no results. Well, that goes back to our day one lesson, which is, are you at the 1 yard line? Most people often quit way too early, or they quit because they just didn't recognize how much work it is. And I will say, without a shadow of a doubt, anything and everything that you do that is difficult will result in greatness once you master it. But mastering requires repetition, intention, focus, love, passion, action. You have to do these things. You do not reinvent the wheel. You have to care for it and do it accordingly at how it's designed for you. So don't get disappointed or discouraged. These are all things that somehow in the compartment of your own consciousness have been taught to basically sabotage. And why would you want to sabotage your success? No one wants to do that. So here's the action step. The last thing you want to do here, let's open up that window so you can see better even. The action step is write one paragraph in your journal about how you are evolving through today's energy. You can do it in the workbook if you like. Very interesting. Write a paragraph about how you are evolving through today's energy. And what that is asking you is that it is now to the level of understanding how your environment, how your reality when you wake up, how these things are affecting. Is it raining? Does it rain affect you? You bet it does. The water on that rain brings a lot of connectivity. And with that, it conducts this amount of energy. You ever notice that when you're in the shower, if you let the shower hit you right here in the pineal gland, all of a sudden you have a different thought and feeling. So this is all designed for us if we use it to our advantage, use it to our benefit. This is key and it's crucial for you and your development. So keep in mind, when we're doing the 365 method, The idea behind it is that we want to create paradigms, new levels, achievements, and results that we've never obtained before. And it's for the betterment of ourselves. As long as you keep working hard and focused and do your due diligence daily on yourself with this book, you will see results. I know it. I lived it. I promise this is something that will change your life. I will see you on day 3. Thank you.